I didn't know For Honor was a thing until I seen Jazza do a video. So that's how uneducated I am in games. Alright guys, so for the past little while I've really wanted to draw something samurai themed. The samurai aesthetic is one of my favorite looks. I've really wanted to draw something, but I couldn't think of any ideas. And then someone in the comment section of one video mentioned something about For Honor, and I didn't know what it was. And then Jazza did a video a little while back, a VR video, and it was focused around For Honor. And then I realized it's this really big deal. It's a big game that's coming out, and I was like, oh, there's a samurai in it. Okay, perfect excuse. So this video is going to be focused on me trying to draw a decent looking samurai of some description. I think I'm going to base it off whatever's in the game. I don't know if it's like one of the three main characters is a samurai, or if it's like their factions or whatever. Anyway, point is, it's going to be referenced from the game, so I haven't started yet. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but it should be fun. So we're going to get into the drawing of the piece now. Honestly, going into this, I have ideas of techniques that I want to try out. I've definitely got sort of an image in my head of how I want it to look. The size that I'll be working at is this size here, Venom's size or Master Chief size, this A3 size. I think that's probably the best size to do this on. I do want to go quite detailed, and I want to make this look quite epic. So I'm going to be taking a samurai character from the game, or whatever it is, like character or so, whatever. I'm going to be taking a samurai design from the game and turning that into a piece of art. So techniques that I'm thinking of doing are really, in my head I'm thinking of making him fighting in the rain somehow. Maybe fighting, or maybe just standing there looking epic. But I want to try out some different techniques using a lot of ink and then white on top of the ink. So going back through with gel pens and white out, doing some more splattering effects to show rain and just give it that epic sort of, I guess, hyper detailed look. I don't know what I'm talking about, so that's probably a good cue to get into the drawing. Alright, so roughing out this piece obviously is the first stage. It's the first stage of any drawing. What I'm doing here is being really loose with the pencil, just basically scribbling. All you want to do here is just put in really rough shapes, keep it really light, and then you don't have to focus too hard on rubbing it out. You can just sort of darken in the areas that you want to keep, and then once you've got your rough shape in, you go through and add a little bit more of a refined detail, and then add the ink on top, which you can see I'm doing here. So the key feature when you're drawing any human character is the eyes. The eyes are really important. They're going to convey a lot about the character. I don't know anything about the character in the game, so I just sort of decided to go with a very simple, basic look. Going through here, I did add a lot of detail into the face. I really wanted this thing to look hyper detailed, and I was really happy with the final result. One thing I do struggle with is getting the eyes to look right when you're doing this sort of 3/4 turn. It can be quite tricky, but I think I pulled it off quite well in this final piece. The main thing that I'm focusing on throughout a lot of drawing the actual samurai character itself is showing the metal. So a lot of his armor is made out of a metal material. You need to try and add a lot of little nicks and stuff in to show that sort of texture. I'm also going through and adding in little water droplets to show that it's raining where he is. It's not going to be sunny and bright. It's going to be really dull and muted, and it's going to be sort of more darkish in the tones. So I did have a very clear image in my head of how I wanted this to look. It was a little bit tricky because I'm basing it so heavily off, an existing design, so there wasn't much room to play around with it here. But I am quite happy with how it finally looked in the end. Now, the sword, I don't know if the sword is accurate at all. I don't know if it matters, but I basically just designed the sword from scratch. I just went with a simple katana blade. I didn't think it would matter how complicated or how accurate to the game it would be. You could see that area on the throat as well that I used a lot of whiteout on. I wasn't happy with how I drew I guess it's like a protective patch. I came back in and really used the similar look to how it is in the concept art that I was looking at, where he has got a turned head. and I wanted to show the shape of that a little bit better, and I think the final piece shows that quite well. Going up into the helmet, you can see here I'm adding in all the fine details, all this sort of stitching and this textured metal look. As far as I know, the helmets were made of metal, so I definitely wanted to show that there, and I guess the stitching is just for a decorative purpose. I'm not 100% sure. But this piece was really fun to draw just because of all the little fine details. It's really fun to go through and just add in all these little things, and you can spend ages looking at the piece because there's just so much visually there to see. Drawing the hand was quite tricky just because of the hand armor, sort of. I'm picturing it's sort of like a leathery material over the hands. It was tricky to sort of get the shape right and get the perspective right. It's not 100% accurate, and I don't think it looks really good by itself, but I don't think your eye is drawn to it directly, so that was the part of the piece that I think I could sacrifice a little bit. One thing that really killed my hand was drawing the round, I guess it's like a rope threading or something on the chest armor. That was really killing my hand by the end of it, and that was definitely not my favorite part of the entire piece. Getting into the background, I went for a very simple landscape scene. I probably should have used a thinner pen on the trunk of this tree here. I was picturing it to be a cherry blossom, but the colors are going to be quite muted because, again, it's a stormy, rainy environment. I did think about adding a little bridge over a creek or something, but I ultimately decided against it. So that's it for the drawing of this, guys. Let's move on to my final thoughts. So there is the final samurai piece. So this one, I really like how it turned out, and I really had a lot of fun drawing this one. But a little interesting story. A few, I guess, months ago, when I started to plan out the content for the channel, I had wanted to draw a samurai of some kind. I wanted to draw a samurai looking character. I wasn't exactly sure what to do. I looked at references and all this kind of stuff, and I was trying to come up with an idea. In the comment section of one video that I commented on, someone replied to me saying I should check into For Honor. I didn't know anything about For Honor. I didn't know what it was. Sort of disregarded the comment. I was like, not really sure what this is, but thank you for the suggestion, all that. When Jazza did a video when it was about the For Honor game, I was like, oh, okay, For Honor's a game and there's a samurai in it. Oh, I'm gonna draw this samurai because I like the designs. So this one that I chose to draw, I can't remember the name of this particular one, but this one I chose because it fit what I envisioned in my head when I planned to draw a samurai from my own head. This is the design that I thought looked closest to what I was going to do. Now, I really like the designs of the samurais in this game, so I'm probably going to go back and do another one. There's another one that has like this trench coat thing, and I think that looks really cool. So I was going to do that one first, but I thought this one I think this design technically is more better. I think it looks a bit more realistic, but this other one looked really cool. So I may go back and do that one. But if you want to see any other characters from the For Honor game, let me know. The other styles, the knights, and I think there's like Vikings or something like that, I don't know. But they're not the things that I would choose myself, but I would definitely be interested in giving them a crack if people want to see them. So it won't be in the immediate future, it will be in a few weeks, but I may try and do some other characters as well. I really would like to have another go at some of the other samurais, though. I think that'd be really cool. The samurai aesthetic is just something that I really like. I've really I think, I'm not the biggest fan of the whole medieval aesthetic, but the samurai look, for some reason, it just really clicks with me. I really like it. So this was the first piece that I've done for a while, and I don't think I've ever done it on this channel, where I've done an organic, or I guess landscape environment. It's not perfect. I definitely think that I should have taken a bit more time with the penciling to make sure I got it right, but I think with the colors and all of that, I think that'll really bring it to life. I think that's where this piece will come together really properly. The initial plan was to have the samurai drawn and have a penciled in background. Then I thought maybe I should just have no background and just digitally paint a background, similar to what I did with Master Chief. But then I just decided I'll ink the whole background so that I have a full piece, and then do a colored version. So we'll see how it turns out. Worst case scenario, if this background really doesn't look good colored, I can paint over the whole thing and just paint in a background around the samurai itself. So we'll see how it goes. I am confident though. So the colored version of this piece you will see in the next, I don't know, week or so, maybe longer, but there will be a colored version of this piece coming out very soon. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really will inspire me to create more content like this. You can check out my Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. There'll be links down in the video description. You can head over to my daily vlog channel. There you're going to be getting updates daily on all the things that I'm working on. You can also check out my Patreon. I'm going to have a bubble popping up on the screen if you're interested in that. And that's it guys, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And I was like, oh.